Well, welcome back to Harrisburg, Kentucky, guys. I feel like I just left here. But Doug Sewell with Sewell Motorcoach here in Harrodsburg, Kentucky. Already went through all the inventory that he had just a few weeks ago when I was here. And while sales might be booming for Doug, he has overwhelmed his service department. And so he flew me back out here to Harrisburg, Kentucky to try to catch up on some inspections for him. And so he's just sent me out here to the lot to start the inspections and have at it. And even though I don't think I've shown you guys a 2019 Tiffin Breeze or an almost brand new 2021 Discovery, why on earth would I not start with this 2007 Foretravel Nimbus and share it with you guys? It's not very often I get to see a Foretravel or bring you guys along with it. We've only done it once before. Now, while there is a part of me, a small part, that feels bad that the service technicians are stuck doing all the hard work, I'm not going to say no to inspecting these beautiful coaches here. And like always, we'll get on the roof and take a look at the roof. It's kind of interesting, but of course, like always, we do have to put the slide-out rooms out first. And I do like how they did the slide-outs on these Foretravels. So it's very similar to how you'd see on a Newell. So there's no fascia that juts out. And this does have an air bladder as a seal all the way around. So just like a Prevost or a Newell, these are about as good as a slide-out seal can possibly be. And that profile you just cannot beat, especially how it just resets in there. And we actually have 3 slide-outs total. So there's another one right here. And wow, look at that. It almost looks like an emergency hatch. That's a bedroom slide. And I know I said we put the slide-out rooms out, but we're back here anyways. We might as well look at the engine because I know everybody wants to see that. It's so easy to access the engine back here and get to everything. Good job, Foretravel. So this does have a Cummins ISL 400 horsepower turbo diesel in it. I do like to look at the exhaust manifolds because, well, I mean, straight access, and I can really get to these very easily, but it's not uncommon for the exhaust manifolds to crack. And I'm not seeing any cracking on those, so that's really good news. Rumor has it you could probably tune this up to about 450 horsepower, but still, it's rated back here on the hitch for 15,000 pounds. And of course, the 336, we have 3 slide-outs, and it's 36 feet front to back, so it's a short diesel. But we'll give you a quick sneak peek here inside as we put the slide-out rooms out. Now it does have the air seals on it. I don't know if we can see it collapsing or not. Alright, you can see that daylight coming through the seal now. That's fun. Little rollers on there. Not a bad idea. Go ahead and extend it. There's a lot more room inside on this 36-foot short diesel here, but what I do want to show you, slide this piece of paper in right there. You can kind of make out there's an air bladder right there, so it's more like a cuff for doing air or blood pressure. Now when I were to put this switch back into the off position, that bladder will air back up again, and now this piece of paper is captured. I can't pull this out. That's the best seal you could ever get on an RV. Let me get that piece of paper back out. All right, there we go. I think Doug would like it if I damaged his paperwork. All right, so I went ahead and turned it back off again. So it is aired up, we're good. I do like to point out how these rounded corners look. You know, I'm a big fan of the seamless slides that Allegro was using, but if you're gonna go with a slide out box, this is about as good as you can get on the slide out box. Look at that, it's just beautiful and solid. It's incorporated all the way around. Almost no place for water to get in on these boxes. No doubts about it. So this does have a gel coat fiberglass roof on it. Woo! That's a pretty roof. I mean, I shouldn't be jumping on the roof in front of you, Doug, but that thing is solid.
I think I can get up there and jump.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. You can have a party up here. This would be a party deck. I mean, you might want to get some safety rails though. So it's not completely seamless. The radiuses do come out over this side to the molding down here. So there's no seams on that side. But when it comes to the back cap right here, there is going to be a seam also at the front cap. So there's some of that compound from buffing it. I do want to walk on this. We're going to be looking for any screws popping out. So this seal looks fantastic. What is this? This is PEX tubing. So it looks like they maybe aftermarket added some condensate drains to the ACs to keep the condensate from the ACs from draining on the side, which is kind of interesting. I've only seen this done on a Monaco Royale Prevost bus conversion. So it kind of looks like aftermarket to me, but I don't know. Maybe it's not. I doubt that Foretravel would have just drilled a hole through the rear cap like that and put lap sealant over the top of it. It's not a big deal because that's just going to leak into the engine compartment right there, but I would like that sealed up just the same. And while I like that they secured this tubing down, they probably shouldn't have used white plastic P clamps because they do get brittle in the sun. And I don't know, I probably would have just gone for stick down ones rather than put a screw on each one of those. So we do have some broken P clamps. Might need to get those addressed too. Alright, so looks like at one point there was a bigger satellite dish back here. They have sealed that up. This is the newer Winegard Road Trip T4. And it looks like it was installed pretty well. The cable's going through right there. I don't know. I'd like a little bit more sealant right about there, for sure. No reason to get that stingy on the lap sealant here. Might as well just go over everything. Where the radius is going to meet the molding right here. Looks like the maybe a little loose. Could use a little bit of sealant, a little bit of paint damage. Again, we'll look down the side to make sure there's no warping or bubbling on the sidewall. There's a pretty short slide out. I'm not going to climb on top of that one. There's a wiper seal right here to protect the air bladder seal. And we already know that that one aired up. Now, I've been kneeling on the roof. Not a lot of oxidation on the roof itself. So, when Doug says this was stored inside, I'm going to believe him. Because this roof looks nearly brand new. That white paint is impeccable. We have a fantastic vent right here. Now there's no lap sealant all the way around because you don't have to have lap sealant. Lap sealant is just an insurance policy to help redirect water, but it gives me good access to the flange and make sure that it's not cracked. Look good there. Yeah. Same thing with this fantastic vent over here. I'm going to look around the base for any cracks. That's just strings of sealant right there. Otherwise, this is still just a lap sealant. Looks like a acrylic lap sealant, like a Dicor. I have a sewer vent here. Really not seeing anything wrong with that. Man, look at that. A clean look at a refrigerator vent. Maybe I could recommend resealing the edge with some lap sealant. Like I said, the lap sealant isn't vital on this. Foretravel decided not to do lap sealant because it does kind of look ugly. And there's a beautiful coach, they didn't want it to look bad. So you can see on the skylight here, there's no lap sealant anywhere on it. The lap sealant on top of the screws is really just there to keep water from puddling and redirect it, but Foretravel seems confident enough that it's not necessary, and I don't think they could have used more screws if they tried. Besides that, we'll look at the base right here for any cracking. A little bit of crazing I can see through the sun right there. And unfortunately, it looks to me like that's a crack. So 2007. Let's see, we can see a little bit of crazing right there too. So I will probably have to recommend that be addressed. Yeah, there's a little bit of a crack right there too. What, 16 years old? No, that can't be right. 2007 was only 10 years ago. Now we already got a sneak peek at the condensate drains here. So they did add the cups down below. And yeah. So those condensate drains, they broke because they're not supposed to be exposed to the weather right there. So that's something that's going to have to be addressed. The roof AC itself, grab, make sure that it's not loose. And yeah, that one's broken too. It's a interesting idea, but even Monaco with the Royale had an issue with the over the roof condensate drains on them. So that's a little disappointing. Now just in front of that rear AC is going to be the wind sensor for the Girard awning, and unsurprisingly the wind sensor is broken. They almost all are broken. Mine's broken. It does bring us to the Girard patio awning over here. Foretravel went with the option of not trying to balance out the roof. Body lines on the side, they just have the Girard awning mounted on the roof itself. Most modern manufacturers on one side of the patio, they have the box awnings on the roof of one side, like this Tiffin over here, and then on the opposite side is the metal railing just to balance out those body lines. Now while it might balance out the roof and make the body lines look pretty good, that is an awful lot more holes to put in the roof, a lot more possible damage of snagging branches or anything else dangling down below. So it's not a bad idea. I kind of like it. But just like any of these box awnings, we'll go ahead and give it a little bit of a kick to make sure none of the bolts are loose on it. We'll inspect the sealant here. They at least built some cool end caps to incorporate or return that body line into the roof. We have the wind guard, automatic TV antenna right here. I suspect that the controls for that don't work anymore. The TV antenna does work. It's kind of interesting. They put an eye bolt right there. I'm guessing that's probably for tailgating. I'd probably remove this now though. And let's see. We got a coax connector right there. We'll look at the boot, make sure it's not split. But where I expected to see it to go to the TV antenna here, it doesn't anymore because they have bypassed that TV antenna and put in the new Razor wind guard automatic TV antenna up here. So that's just there to prevent water leaks. If you take this off, there's a great big hole underneath the TV antenna right there. So it makes more sense just to leave it on the roof. Well, I'm not quite sure what was here before, but it's sealed up all right. They didn't use lap sealant, just a normal silicone sealant. I would like to put some lap sealant on there to dress it up a little bit, to keep water from puddling and all this tooling area. I would probably just scrape all this off and reseal that though. As we peer over the side here, we'll inspect the sealant on this. We look pretty good. That sidewall couldn't be prettier. This paint couldn't be in better condition. And this slide out's definitely big enough for me to walk on. So it's going to be a plug that's supposed to be there. And yeah, this looks really good. Good access. I love this because you don't have to worry about any slide out toppers flapping in the wind. No maintenance on the slide out topper. This is the way to go. It really is because of the slide out box itself that I would put this on the same level as a Motorcoach, like a Newell, a Prevost Bus, or even like a Bluebird Wonder Lodge. So it's nothing even remotely like a production RV motorhome you'd find. This is high quality. This is how every production RV motorhome slide out should look, in my opinion. And it really wouldn't take that much more effort to build a slide out box like this. Alright, no damage to that plug. That seal looked good all the way down. That sidewall looks beautiful. and so does that sidewall there. All right, at that point, we're to the front AC. We'll grab that. Seems like that shroud's a little bit loose. We could tighten that up. And this is the condensate drain over here. Did this one break? That one's not broken yet. And that one's not broken yet. Give a little bit of a friendly kick on that. We look good there. That cover is really nice. We'll look over the side. Man, I'm not seeing too much wrong here. I'm going to backtrack a little bit to the controls for the TV antenna. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of how they sealed this one up either. I'd probably want to reseal that. The radio antenna, the whips. Oh, let's see. It's a little loose. TV antenna was installed nicely. Come over here. Probably a Sirius XM antenna. Walk on the front cap. It's pretty interesting. There's no huge front cap like you'll see on most modern RVs that jut out really far from the roof. Nice and compact. That should reduce a lot of stress on the fiberglass. You guys will have to take a look at the lights for me. I don't have anything safe to hold on as I'm leaning over, so I don't want to lean over too far. And one thing I didn't notice at the beginning, this is actually a one-piece windshield. So it's not a two-piece, so that's nice. And it looks like it's a gasket set, so I am inspecting the gasket right there to make sure the windshield's not popping out anywhere. They do tend to like to pop out of the corners right there, but not on this one. Well, that was it. The roof on this 2007 Foretravel Nimbus 336. I would say overall, I'd give the health of this roof a 95. It's in beautiful condition. The original factory sealant's held up. The paint's really nice. It couldn't feel more solid. It feels like I'm walking on a concrete pad right now, or foundation. There's a few deficiencies like the condensate drain right here, the skylight, the TV antenna over there, and of course the Girard wind sensor that probably won't have anything to do with. The refrigerator vent, maybe we can reseal that, and while we're doing that, might as well just touch up that sewer vent too. I don't think they need it, but we're here on the roof, might as well get it done. Doug will have to make a choice on what wants to be done on that condensate. You could probably just put a new stud in that pan, or you have to take the AC off, put a new condensate drip pan on it. So that's Doug's call, not mine. Now, even though Doug did give me incredibly beautiful sunny weather, it's still a little bit chilly. It's probably in the like 55, so I should have a jacket on, and it's been very windy. Let me get off this roof, finish up the inspection on the inside. I do like the idea behind it all, so I would probably want to keep it, but I do want to get that fixed, fix the clamps there, and of course, obviously, there it goes in the rear cap. And then of course, once I'm done with the inspection, I will take you guys on a tour of the inside and see what you guys think about it. We don't get to see Foretravels very often, and I do get requests for them very often. All right, I'm just wrapping up the inspection, but I know the two important questions everybody always wants to know. What's the age of the tires? Unfortunately, the tire installer went ahead and put all the date codes on the inside sidewalls, which is fine because that gives me an opportunity to look underneath the chassis and show you guys. Looks to be pretty rust-free down here. It does have a solid front axle, just like my RV does have, but the date codes. So unfortunately, the 6th week of 2016. So I would definitely recommend some new tires. And then since I do have the engine running, we might as well go ahead. Oh, shut that. Looks like we have 50,106 miles on it. All right, last check is going to be patio awning. I have that coming out. Wow, that fabric looks really good. I know normally we do it when I'm on the roof, but I forgot to grab the remote. That works out perfectly. All right, well, I'm done with the inspection. Let's go ahead and go inside. It's in really good condition, definitely been loved, and I'm happy and pleased to share it with you guys. Now, I know I always say this, but I do have to try to make this fast. I got lots to do. We'll start right here with the driver's and passenger's chair. These are the original leather upholstery. You can even see the embroidery still in wonderful condition right there. And unlike some, look at that. That's not broken off. That's pretty common to break off too. I don't know why furniture has been such a difficult thing of lately, but in 2007 they did a great job on it. This does have a transmission, the Allison transmission brake, so it's a 6-stage like brake. Instead of having an engine brake, you can have the transmission brake there. We already covered the air leveling on it. Really like all the rocker switches, and you have the 3 controls for the 3-section power mirror right here. We have a nice smart wheel here with a nice analog dash cluster on top of it. The dash radio has been upgraded from the original radio that would have been there, but this does have side and rear view cameras on it. So Foretravel was really thinking ahead of their time. The dash, a pretty nice vinyl wrap plastic that, unlike some of those, isn't peeling and discoloring and falling apart. I like how Foretravel always has this hidden section right there. And that way, nobody knows where your special stuff is. Now, as I give a good overview of the entire coach, remember this is all solid wood. I think it looks like walnut, but I'm sure somebody will correct me and tell me that it's something else. But this is all solid wood. Beautiful cabinetry. It's what you should expect on every luxury motor coach. Above the dash right there is going to be the new flat screen TV. Now this is a smart Samsung TV, so this has been upgraded from the original TV that would have been there. I can only imagine the plasma that came in 2007 was $15,000, so times have changed quite a bit. When it comes to all the window shades, the previous owner has upgraded them to all be roller shades. The front visor has been upgraded to a wireless visor right here. I think it's channel 1. Go down with that. So that's pretty nice. I like that. It's a little bit different than I've seen on most coaches, and that's a pretty thick material too. Very nice. Now, of course, we saw the slide-out room controls right there. Right below, you can start and stop the generator. This does have the automatic generator start built into it already. And just behind that, the fascia on the slide out reminds me a lot of a country coach. That's just a very, very, very solid and big wooden fascia. On the floor, laid down at a dramatic angle, the whole floor is a lightly polished porcelain flooring. So it's not carpet in the entryway at all, and there's no carpet to rip out anywhere. This was the original flooring put on there in 2007 before it was a really common thing to find. Now, behind the driver's seat will be the driver's front slide out that goes from right here all the way to the front right over there. Now, this sofa is a new sofa that has been added, so it doesn't match the original suede material you might find over here on the dinette bench, but it does have a nice comfortable big bed underneath it, which if the new owner doesn't want it, I could really use this in my RV. This has a inner spring coil mattress on it. It looks to be about a queen size bed, but it also does have an inflator on it, so you can air it up to make a very comfortable bed for your guest. So there you go. Now it's nice and comfortable. And of course, it's just as easy to deflate. Just hit the deflate button. Just like that, it's deflated. So that was very simple. Now, just behind that is the original dinette booth. This is I think it's a engineered quartz, so it is real stone. So it has the weight and texture of stone, but none of the maintenance that you'd have to do on it for the table. It does pull out right here for a table leaf, so obviously you have more kitchen table space. Across from that slide out would be the passenger side front slide out. Now it goes from this point all the way back here to the galley sink area. This also has a sofa in it. It's that suede material. It's a little bit dirty. I think maybe something spilled on top of there. But this one's a little bit more difficult. You have to pull out the armrest. Just like that. This is just going to jackknife over. A fairly uncomfortable twin-size bed. So it's nice to have an emergency. And like I said, I think that's just a little bit of dirt that needs to be cleaned up. This coach just recently came in and has gone through the entire process over here at Sewell Motorcoach. And then just behind there will be the Galley countertop. Still has that engineered quartz stone material as a countertop material. Convection oven microwave above. Beautiful drawer space down below. Underneath this is a stovetop cover where you have a 2-burner propane stovetop down below it. We have the original owner's manual right there. That's always a good sign. And then on the backsplash behind is a matching ceramic tile with real stone inlaid as an accent border. And then when I say it's solid wood, this is real veneer solid wood. So it's not just wallpaper on paneling. It's quite the slide out pantry drawer space right there. Previous owner went ahead and labeled all the drawers for you. I think you can relabel them if it's yours. Even more pantry space right there with adjustable shelving on it. And then just behind that slide out will be the continuation of the Galley. Still has that stone countertop, a dual under countertop mounted stainless steel sink, and that same matching backsplash down below. Like most Foretravels, kind of the control center for the entire coach is going to be right up in the Galley area right there. This does have contactless sea level tank monitors, so they should read fairly accurately. Now, unlike most Foretravels that I'm very familiar with, these ceilings are a little bit different. Usually there's a oval cutout right here, and it's like recessed with backlit right here, because normally one of my biggest complaints on a Foretravel is that they just feel like the headroom space is really low, but I don't have that feeling whatsoever on this, and that's a pretty nice looking ceiling right there. However, just across from the Galley, they did upgrade the refrigerator, so it's not an RV refrigerator anymore. They put a Whirlpool residential refrigerator. It does have an ice maker on top. Just behind the Galley, we'll find more adjustable shelving, like a linen closet with a closet rod. And then right down below will be the washer dryer combo. So there it does look like there's room if you want to take out the washer dryer combo and put a washer and a dryer separate units above. That's probably what could be done now. Now pushing past this pocket door right here, that is a beautiful wooden pocket door. We'll find a split bathroom, but a continuation of the ceramic flooring down below. The shower is directly to the left here. That is probably about a 12-inch step up. Again, I'm 6 foot, so when I step up, I didn't have to duck going in or out, but if I were to walk straight out, I would hit my head. But once I'm inside right here, because it does have a skylight, there's quite a bit of headroom space right there. Shower head, yeah, barely passes the shower head test. But the shower walls themselves are made out of a solid surface corian. Kind of looks like a granite or a marbleized finish on it. Now this is a split bathroom on a short diesel. So on the other side of the hallway right here is going to be the rest of the bathroom. It does have a residential size porcelain gravity toilet, so not a macerating toilet. The matching backsplash can be found right there with the exact same countertop material here. This does have a drop-in ceramic Kohler sink and an offset faucet right there. But lots of cabinet space above, and even some more cabinet space across from the toilet here. Now if we go further down the hallway here, we'll find the bedroom. Now this is a north-south facing bed. It's a queen-size bed, and because of the way the headboard is laid out, even though it's a beautiful headboard, I don't think you're going to be able to fit a king-size bed here without a lot of modifications. I mean, that is a very beautiful, substantial piece of furniture, just as a headboard, and it's in really good condition too, not dirty or stained. Now if we look underneath, it wouldn't be a Foretravel if you didn't have a wonderful engine access back here. But of course you can see there's also no storage really underneath the bed here. Looking up from the base of the bed, you'll find a flat screen TV mounted on the wall there, a matching ceiling to the salon area, and of course the third slide out is going to be the closet. It has two sliding mirrored closet doors. A pretty good size wardrobe right in here. And then of course this one will slide this way too. That is solid, beautiful wood. So that was it. This is a 2007 Foretravel Nimbus. 336. Doug explained to me you have 3 slide outs and it's 36 feet long. I would definitely include Foretravel in the motor coach world, as they are a made-to-order custom motorhome, unlike most production RVs out there. But this previous owner has taken wonderful care of it, and I was happy to share it with you guys. All right, Doug, hey.
Yes.
Hey, thanks for bringing me out again. The weather is fantastic, like always. I'm even gonna have to get a jacket though. It's a little bit chilly and windy.
I have a jacket in there for you. So
okay. Yeah. So 2007 Foretravel Nimbus.
Sir. Yes. Is that a unicorn or what?
It's a unicorn. I don't see them very often.
I mean, that's the only other 36-foot Nimbus I've ever seen on video or in person was a video you did at Premium Coach Group. I think this one beats the pants off that when it comes to colors.
Oh yeah, that was just white, I think.
Did you see the front? I got a little picky on this one. See what my paint guy did with the headlights, kind of the ghosting, and we painted a custom Foretravel logo.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yeah, and looking around the headlights, but there was a bunch of rock chips on this coach. This coach was used for tailgating, only exclusively for tailgating. Bought new directly from Foretravel. They traded to another brand new Foretravel, so.
All right.
Yeah, check it out.
All right. If anybody's interested in it.
Yes. Oh, price $149.
$149.
$149. It's a unicorn. There's the only one out there. So compare it and see. Compare it if you can. I don't think you can.
I don't think you can compare it.
Maybe. What do you compare this coach to, James? I'm going to spin the camera around on you.
Now, at the risk of upsetting a lot of people, Doug.
Yes.
I think they remind me a lot of the last generations of the Bluebird Wonder Lodge.
Well, you know that you remember that 99 Prevost you did a video on?
Yes.
That customer actually was going to trade. They came from Montana. They showed up here. Well, they called me and told me they were coming. That Prevost customer, who was a Wonder Lodge owner, funny you say that, walked through this coach and said this reminded him of a Wonder Lodge. So
right.
I think it's got some DNA from multiple manufacturers, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah.
And of course, Wonder Lodge stopped making them about 2007, 2008.
Yeah, you know that's my favorite 36-foot coach I've ever had. I have to say.
Does it say? I haven't driven it. Does it fly?
Oh my gosh! And it stops. I mean, you gotta be careful with that transmission brake because it's so light, and there's so much power with that transmission brake. It'll almost pull you out of your seat. Be careful if you go drive it.
I will.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
So
149.
149.
Yeah, 149.
How many miles?
It's got 40. Just actually, it cracked 50,000 coming here from Florida where it was traded in.
All right. Well, thank you, Doug.
Yep. Thank you.
So there's like a pinstriping on it?
Well, it's got, like if you look at it from one way, you don't see it, and then you.
Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, it looks like a 3D lettering on it. And I thought these were bezels, like you might see on a Newmar, but that's
painted.
That's painted. Wow. Yeah, you're not gonna find that anywhere. It's always windy. It's always windy when I'm trying to film these things. You gotta be careful though. Robert De Niro might be underneath there. You know, the mud flap wasn't like it when I gave it to you.
Well, something may have happened, as it always does, right?
I didn't recognize this is the same one that I was driving. It looks brand new.
And we've already got the furniture all on order. We're gonna take it through our process and kind of make it, turn it back into a dime piece.
That's a beautiful coat.
Yep.
Drove really well too.
Yep.